Hello, trainees. Welcome to another session of this marvelous training. Um, last week on Thursday, I talked about television and educational reporting, where I looked at the process of educational reporting and its importance in journalism, its importance in the media. So I talked about various aspects of television reporting, of educational reporting using television and educational reporting. And I talked about various higher institutions and other institutions where I mentioned the university, the polytechnic, college of education, and other institutions. Then I talked about the functions of the regulatory bodies of these institutions, what they do. Talk about the NUC, the NCCE, and NAPTEC. And then I talk about the accreditation of institutional accreditation and course accreditation. Then I talked about before an institution is being accredited, it must meet the requirements set by any of these regulatory bodies, depending on the category where the institution falls. Then I also talk about course accreditation. Before courses or any course is being uh, accredited, it must meet the requirement, and some professional bodies are involved in such way. I mentioned Korean in engineering. I talked about that, in charge of regulating engineering practice in Nigeria. So accredited courses normally meet the requirements set. So when reporting, reporters have to give the report in depth if certain courses have actually met the requirement, and if they haven't, what actually led to that. Because some institutions have courses that are not have not met the requirement for accreditation, but such courses are still offered, and they lack the manpower, they lack the facilities and the resources required to train students to become professionals in such areas. So uh, reporters are responsible for trying to sanitize every sector of Nigeria, the educational sector, the economic sector, the agricultural sector, and other sectors, by exposing wrongdoings, shortcomings, lapses, so that the needful can be done to reposition things for a better Nigeria. Today's session uh, focuses on photojournalism. Photojournalism. Photojournalism is an important aspect of journalism. In the past, when television was not common and the internet was not in place, photojournalism was strictly used in magazines and newspaper, that is print media. So photojournalism was strictly the use of still photograph for news report, for telling a story, how photos can be used to support a story, how pictures can be used to support a story or tell a story. So in the past, it referred to only uh, magazines and newspapers. But as media is evolving, technology has taken a twist, different dimension. Innovation and creativity have changed things. Today, photojournalism doesn't only mean the use of still photography. or the use of still photograph. It's not just still photography, it's also motion photography as well. So it has included motion photography, but that is only taken into context in a few or exceptional situation. But largely, it means still photography, where motion is used to refer to photojournalism, where motion pictures are used in photojournalism, maybe in cases where certain exceptional issues are to be discussed or made or reviewed. But emphasis in photojournalism mostly means still photographs, still pictures, not motion pictures, still pictures. And the emphasis of this topic for today's training is the still photography. That is where the focus will be, because we have talked about motion pictures. We have talked about arranging shots, different shots that are used in reporting news. We talk about extreme, close up shot, wide shot, establishment shot, and all that. So those are we talked about that in relation to motion pictures, visuals. Today, I'm going to talk about still photography that is used in photojournalism to tell stories. You know, if you have been following events, trending events, following various events on television, you will see that it is not all stories on TV that motion pictures are used. There are some stories that from its beginning to the end, you won't see any moving object, any motion picture. The story will be told by still photographs from the beginning to the end. What you may see is slides. That is, the pictures will be sliding. You see one picture showing different images, the next picture will follow, like that sequence of pictures that would be used in telling that story until the story ends. The only thing you'll be hearing is the voiceover of the reporter that would be giving the report, and then you see still pictures going on to support the report that is being given. So it is important that you understand this concept as well. The reason for still photography in uh, photojournalism or in broadcast reporting is because there are instances where you may not be allowed to do any video recording, but you may be allowed to take still pictures. I have been in events where recordings were not allowed, but still photographs were allowed to be taken in certain incidents, in certain events, which I did that and used the still photograph to write my story. So there are events where the recording will not be permitted because they will want people to hear the background sound, to hear the conversation, to get the surrounding sound. So what they will do is they'll just allow you to take only still photograph and write whatever you can write to support the pictures, but not to record anything. So where you are confronted with such situation, then you need to use what is valuable. You need to take a photograph and then see how you can select the best that will tell the best story or will tell the story the best way, and then you write your story. Now, in doing this, it is important that once the reporter is on field or on beat, you need to know that if you have your motion camera, your still camera should also be there. Just like I said, media improves, technology advances, things are changing. So innovations and creativity are coming into the media space and things are changing. So the fact that uh, you are working for a TV station doesn't mean you shouldn't be equipped with still photograph. You shouldn't be equipped with the knowledge for of still photography, or you shouldn't have cameras that can be used for still photography. So you should be able to be equipped with that, so that where the need arises for using cameras to take still pictures, you will also not be left out. And where it is motion, which that is the area of specialization, you always be there. So you need to be prepared for anything that might come up. So you must have the gadget for that, so that if you be in any event where it is required that only still photograph to be taken, you will not be left out of having the shot yourself. So once you get these shots, these pictures, the next thing is to write a story that flow with them. As you write the story, because once the story is being broadcast, it will display on the screen as the narration is going. The picture will be there, and then it switches to the next picture. Maybe the first story is talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the approval he gave for a release of funds to tackle insecurity, to do this or that. And then you can talk about improving the armed forces, and so, and then you switch, you move from Tinubu's picture to picture of the armed forces, maybe the including the paramilitary, showing the police, civil defense, army, and all that. And then as you're talking about, due to communal clashes or headers farmer clashes, and all that that has deteriorated the situation, then the next picture will reflect, will show the farm, people farming, or would indicate, will show headers, and they will show farmers, and then maybe the picture may also show burnt buildings and deserted areas indicating crisis. So you will have pictures that will include all components of your story. So it starts from the beginning and it will be flowing like that. So you know how to take these pictures and then know how to arrange your story so that the picture can fit in, for your narration to be made in a way that it will flow. And taking pictures, using pictures for photojournalism has rules that must be followed. Now, if you are using pictures that, some pictures are copyrighted, that is, they have copyright. Even when they don't, people use pictures and give credit to the photographer of that image, where the photographer is known. There are certain pictures that people go online and get without knowing the exact person that is the owner of that picture. So you may not be able to actually put the give the credit to who is the real owner. of that picture. But in most situations, you see a photo credit. That is, the credit is going to the owner of the picture, maybe the photographer that took the shot. So there is always that, especially when the photographer is known. Now, when you take pictures, you need to consider a lot of issues. You don't just take one shot and then you stop. In any event that you go where you are to use still camera to take pictures, you should ensure that you take as many pictures as possible. You don't just take one shot and you are okay with that. No, it's not done like that. You take many pictures as possible from one scene or one action to the other. You take, maybe when the president is talking, you take, when he's going out, you take, he's sitting, you take, he's talking with a group of persons, you take the shot. And then visit crisis area, you take, and all that. You take all these shots so that you will be able to select the best. When you take pictures, there are some pictures that the subject or the personality which the story is hinged on might not be in a posture that should actually be on air. you know. So certain pictures, maybe the person is yawning, and then it was when you took the shot, or the eyes closed, or the person scratching his or her forehead, or scratching her or his or her body, or maybe picking something or twisting. So there are certain actions that once you capture, you don't put them on air. You try to select the pictures that are good, that don't have any misinterpretation. There are certain pictures that the moment you put them online, the pictures have ambiguity, meaning it can be understood in different ways, more than one way. So you need to put a picture that will not create tension, that will not make people to have ambivalent feelings, or will not have ambiguity in the picture. Because some may be wondering, is the person angry, or is the person smiling, or laughing? Is the nature of the picture that makes people to wonder if the person is eyes are closed or actually open, if the person is actually looking at this or that, or if the person is really sleeping or not. So don't take pictures that, except if the aim of doing that picture is to tell a particular story in that line, is to tell a story in that line, that aspect. But where you have a story and the picture are not in line with the story, the picture are giving different interpretation, people are interpreting it differently, it will not make sense. And you shouldn't allow side attraction in the picture. Because when you take a picture, the background is always there. Take note of the background. Who are the personalities in the background? What is happening in the background? Should what happen in the background be be put to the public, or is it only the person there that is required? That is why certain backgrounds are not good to be on air, considering the personality involved. So the background really matters when pictures are to be taken and used for story. So you try to see this story is talking about what? A story that uh, is talking about education, developing education, talking about how education can be improved on. Then you can go and bring pictures of the of the personality, even if you don't have the picture available. Maybe even if you didn't take the picture yourself, and you want to use the picture elsewhere, you can go and bring the picture of the person in a sport wear on the pitch. And then you're talking about improving education. At least you get a picture of the person in a modest attire, in a corporate attire, maybe talking to proprietors, proprietors, or maybe doing anything in line with that, so that it will flow. Even when you don't take pictures yourself, you want to use pictures elsewhere to make up the story. Make sure the pictures that you obtained, whether it's online or anywhere, should have backgrounds that would be in line with the story, will be in line with the story. And then you should be able to ensure that uh, there is decency in the picture. Pictures of uh, people dressing anyhow are not supposed to, outlandish attire, outlandish appearance, should not be on air. So you see, if you're talking about females, you're talking about a woman or a lady, you cannot bring a picture where the breast is being exposed, the waist is being exposed, or a mini skirt is being worn, and then you put it online, you put it on air, you put it for people to see. It doesn't speak well. So where certain things are in that nature, you try to keep away from that, including the background. That is the reason I'm talking about the background, because the background is very important. Just imagine half naked ladies, in the background of someone you want to use the picture for a story. It won't send a good message. You see, you're talking about, someone is talking about decency, is talking about morality, how people should be cultured, and then the background shows uncultured people. It doesn't speak well of the person, because it will show as if the person is in support of what is happening, because background of that nature in most cases shows that the person is in the environment where that is happening, so the person might be considered to be part of that. So the picture should not have such. Just like somebody who is talking about preaching against cigarette, against smoking, and then the person is in an environment where there are a lot of persons smoking, and there are a lot of persons doing all that, and then the person is that environment and is talking about it, and then people are smoking at the background and all that, despite the fact that the person is talking about that, the picture showing that may indicate that the person is actually trying to promote that. You see, the reason the presidency has placed a ban on rituals and smoking in Nollywood is of um, as a result of what people try to emulate when they see. When people want to see people smoking, they want to try to do the same. So according to the interpretation, is based on what people confessed that they watch on screen and put to practice, that the ban has been placed on smoking, and smoking and ritual scenes in Nollywood should not uh, be continued. So it's the reason that I was given, because there are implications in certain things. When people see certain things happen, when people see certain things done, especially children or teenagers, those coming up would want to emulate that, want to follow that. So background of pictures really, really matter. So what the person is saying should not be the opposite of what is happening at the background. So you should ensure that you capture things that would actually be in order and be in conformity with the story that is being told. Now, in photojournalism, the quality of the picture matters a lot. The quality of the picture. You must ensure that your camera is sharp enough to take good pictures that will be used for the story. Good pictures that will be sharp, bright, and not blur pictures, except where, excuse me, except where a story is to be told and the images are not supposed to appear, like you're talking about people who are dead or people shot, and then you took a picture of them, corpses, took a picture of that, then you can make the picture to be blurred. That one is understood so that the bodies, the corpses will not appear in the picture boldly. So that one is understood. And there may be a picture of a victim of rape, or maybe a victim of rape, or someone that is molested, or victim of HIV, and then who may not want the faces to be seen and all that. So their faces can be made black or the entire body, but the picture will be there but will not be when the picture is blurred, it means the image will not be seen. You won't identify, you will know that this is a child, this is a woman, this is a man, but you can't identify who that is because it will be blurred to cover the identity. Now, where that is required to be done, then you can do that, and that is normally done during editing. By the time you take the shot, you can now edit it and put it in that way before it is being used for broadcast. So the quality of the picture really matters, and how the pictures are being arranged, like I say, really matters. For pictures, like I said, for pictures to be taken, you need to ensure that the action is in line with the story, so that you will take the shot in line with the story, as many as possible. Then by the time you have taken all the shots, you can now select from the many pictures you have taken, the ones that are good enough to be used for the story before you put the story together, and then you can do your voiceover for that. Now, photojournalism, as it is an aspect of journalism that involves creativity. You need to be creative for your pictures to tell a story that no one will think twice. You know, there are pictures that once anybody sees, the person will understand the mood at that point, will understand the emotions, will understand the excitement, will understand the intensity of sorrow or pains being felt. So you need to understand certain things and then know how your pictures should be taken. First, the event that requires taking of pictures, is it a celebration? Is it an event where people are celebrating? Is it a birthday event? Is it a wedding ceremony? Is it a funeral service? Is it a kind of a accident that occurred? Now, your picture should go with the mood, with the emotions of that event. It will not speak well in a funeral uh, in a funeral service or in a funeral where uh, you have pictures where people are mourning, and then you have pictures of people smiling, people laughing. You have such pictures, and then in you put them on air to the public. It will not speak well. People can use that picture to actually ridicule those in the picture. They would say that they are happy that the person is dead, smiling at the person's burial, laughing uncontrollably at the person's funeral, indicating that such persons were happy for the demise of such a person. And even if what happened that led to that could not be connected to anything of such, but because the pictures are already there, many will believe that. Why would people are crying, people are mourning, people are bitter, and then you are smiling and laughing? Even if you you hate the person, or you hated the person that died, at least you need to pretend to be in a mourning mood, so that let people see that yes, you also feel the pains that the family lost someone, the family is bereaved. But putting a smiling face and laughing uncontrollably, laughing unnecessarily, laughing anyhow, as if you have won a jackpot in a funeral, would make people think otherwise. That if you are celebrating the demise of the person, the death of the person. So whatever is being written, whatever the picture appears, whatever is being used for, the person will find it difficult to get any defense. So you have to be careful not to put people into unnecessary controversies, because when you do that, you will put things out of place. You blow things out of proportion, because maybe even in a funeral, there are certain things that can happen that will make even those mourning to smile, to even laugh at that moment, but it will be a momentary thing. It will just be a split second action, a split second laughter that would spoil the person, or maybe someone came and cheer the person up, said certain things, reminded the person of certain things, and the person put on a smile, a smiling face, or laughed based on what the person said, and after that the person goes back to the mourning mood and the sorrowful mood. So it may be a split second action that has been captured on camera, and that split second action captured on camera can be misinterpreted, and then people will not look at the other aspect of the event, how the person felt, the tears, the cries, the wailing, and all that. And then the person will use such split second action to judge and criticize. So once you are there to take pictures, in any event to take pictures, please ensure that the action that you take, I mean, the pictures that you take are in line with the event. The pictures should not bring ambiguity. Ambiguity is something that can be interpreted in different ways, can be interpreted in different ways. It should have a straightforward understanding. If it is in a funeral, take pictures that will show that these people are mourning. Even when you take pictures of smiling faces, do not use them. Do not use them. Please take note. Do not use them. Do not accept if there is a story that is to be told about such moment, that what led to the smiles of such people. Maybe you are trying to say they were mourning. As they were mourning, the governor came, or the priest came, or a reverend father came, or someone came, and maybe said something, did something, stuck something to to elicit happiness in them, and even in the mornings they now smile at. Now, once you tell a story to relate it to that action, it will be understood, knowing that there was dance and someone came to cheer them up. But where a story has nothing to relate to such actions, then it will become ambiguity. People will be wondering, people are mourning, and this group of persons are here smiling. Maybe the man killed the wife, or maybe the wife killed the husband. That is why even at the funeral, he's or she smiling. He or she is smiling, or even at the funeral, they are smiling. They look excited. So if that is not done, it will give people wrong message. That is why if you go on social media, you see pictures, pictures that are being misinterpreted, that are being misunderstood because of how they were taken. There are pictures of politicians that when you see them, you begin to wonder what were they doing here, what happened here. So the pictures give a kind of thinking. So photojournalism can send the wrong message from a a good event, or not. It may not necessarily be a good event, but can send a wrong message that would actually not be the reality on ground. Because if something happened and then the picture is being taken and is interpreted out of context based on how it was taken, then you can't blame those who misinterpreted or misunderstood that, because the picture has been left open for that, for such misinterpretation to come in based on how it was taken, which is the fault of the photojournalist for not being professional, for trying to create controversy. So don't be a troublemaking photojournalist. Some photojournalists are troublemakers. They will take pictures and then put it on air, just like in the plenary, the National Assembly or State Assembly, where you see photojournalists taking pictures of members of House Reps sleeping, or doze off, and then you see them putting on air and all that. Such pictures are not appropriate to be taken, because they are used to demean such persons. But people can be naturally tired. Maybe after attending to series of events, you go to a place and you feel like taking a nap. Even in churches, you see people sleeping. At times they go and take a nap because of the stress they have gone, and then you take a photograph of someone in the church who worked all day yesterday and got tired, and today in church and is very tired, and then you capture you take a shot of the person taking a nap, or feeling dizzy, and then you put on air trying to ridicule the person. It is not professional for journalists to do that. Photojournalists are not supposed to do that. You need to be careful so that you don't create unnecessary controversies. You don't create tension. You don't create controversies. You don't bring pictures that would ridicule people or put them in a state of disrepute. So you should always know the type of pictures to take. If you want to take a shot of anybody and you see the person is not in the mood to take that, you keep observing. That is why professional photojournalists, they time for the right moment. Maybe they are waiting for the person to smile. So just once an action happens and the person smiles and claps, then they take a shot of that person in that, because it is a lively event. So, but the person was not lively. And when you take a picture of someone looking moody in a lively event and you put on air, people will still misinterpret the picture. This person is celebrating uh, his or her convocation, matriculation, a birthday, wedding and all that. But why is this person moody? But maybe it was just a temporary look or a temporary action. Maybe the person was smiling all day and then decided to just be quiet for some time, and then maybe had some kind of calls or received some calls, or someone whispered something and the person became moody. Maybe a sad event occurred, and then you take a shot at that point, and then you put on air. People will feel the person was jealous, the person wasn't happy about the whole event, and that is why at the event the person put up such frowning face and all that. So you will create a misinterpretation. Some person will be wondering what actually happened to this person. Could he be jealous? Could he be that? In a very lively event, in a celebration like this, and the person is not smiling, just moody. So it will create different interpretation. There will be misinterpretation of the photograph of the person. So it would not be appropriate for that to happen. So it is necessary that these things be taken into consideration. And the issue is when you do these things appropriately, you make the work easier for the editor, because the editor is the gatekeeper of any media organization. The editor is the gatekeeper. That is the reason anything that goes to the public space, anything that is being broadcast, anything that is being transmitted, anything that is being printed or published, the editor is the person to be held responsible. Even though the reporter uh, might be at fault as well for sending such a report, but the editor would take a chunk of the blame for still allowing that to go through, because the editor is supposed to ensure that is the reason editors are supposed to be people who have experience in the media organization, people who have worked as reporters, who have been on field, who have written stories, who have gone through certain challenges, have surmounted them, are used to the media code of ethics, media law, have known a lot concerning the National Broadcasting Commission, understands the ways of doing things in the media, understand how personalities are being handled, understand how judicial proceedings are being reported, understand everything about the media platform, the media organization, understand everything that relates to the media, so that when anything comes to your desk as the editor, you look at such story and remove any item or thing. That is where they say that's where editing comes up to. You remove anything, any writing, any picture, any audio, any visual that would create problem, that would uh, bring litigation, that would lead to libel, or slander, or will create tension, that will create tension, would be considered as treason. So the editor must understand what constitutes libel, what constitutes sedition, what constitutes treason, what is defamation in general, and what can be done to make this, what story can be of national security concern, what story can pose a threat to the national security. So the editor must be somebody that is highly experienced to understand this. Otherwise, there will be problem. Maybe the station will be shut down, the license will be revoked, or certain fines will be melted, on litigation will be flying here and there because of the ineptitude of the editor. So there are certain reports that when they come in, the editor can still turn them down, giving reasons why this report cannot be on air, why these pictures cannot be on air, and why this cannot be on air. But when the reporters do the right thing, the work become easier for the editor. The editor won't have to go through the stress of trying to see how certain things can be edited, can be removed, can be, you just go through and then approve, go through and approve. So that is the reason, as reporters, you need to know all these things so that you won't overstress, because definitely there's always stress in the work of being an editor. So that you won't overstress your editor by always bringing stories that he needs to sit down and try to write again, rewrite certain things, remove, edit this, cancel certain pictures, keep listening to the audio over and over to cut where certain comments or statements are not good enough to be heard, and they're trying to edit the visuals where the videos are not good enough to be viewed or watched by the audiences and all that. So you subject the editor to more stress. After all, the job of editing is a stress of its own. It has stress of its own there. And then you now put the editor to more stress by always bringing things that you need to sit down again and start doing the work for you, start rewriting. Because there are stories that when you bring for the editing to be done, then the story must be rewritten. Otherwise, it will not flow again because of the way it was written, how it was done. So for it to be done in a way that will be in line with the laid down principles, then it means the story must be written over again, all over again. So it will cause some delays, put the editor to kind of unnecessary stress, trying to see that deadline is being met and all that, because all these things have deadline. The story is to be transmitted by 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. Everything must be packaged and put, the bulletin must be ready before that time. So where there are a lot of errors, things need to be corrected, things need to be, in the end, if the editor sees that the corrections cannot be made on time to meet the deadline, then certain stories might be even cancelled or removed from the bulletin completely because there will be no need. So you will cause a lot of problems too if you are inaptitude. So you need to be equipped. That is the reason this training is here, be making these errors, so that you already know these things and do what is actually supposed to be done. Now, when all this is packaged and presented, like I said, you should be able to understand the event very well and write the story. By the time you have already arranged the picture, arranged the thing, you now put the story to flow. It should be a sequence flowing from the beginning, how it happened, like that. If there is a prominent figure, any event must start with a prominent figure, because if the president attends an event, then the he should be the subject, despite the fact that the event is maybe a convocation and is being done and the president is there. He is the highest person, so the headline will reflect that person, that personality. You can't put the VC before the president or the governor before the president in such an event. So the big headline will be the president being in a convocation ceremony in a particular university. So no matter what is to be said, since the president is there, he will have to be reflected in that story. He will need to make the headlines too. He will need to be involved in that report. So you try to see personalities in an event. When you are taking pictures, note that the pictures should capture personalities that are there. If a wedding um, of someone is being done and the governor is there, the chief of staff, the speaker is there, and some prominent politicians are there, you can't take photograph in the event and leave these people out. Maybe the report captures them, they were there. Where is the picture to show that they were there? No pictures. So who knows if it is just you just wrote the story to make people feel that the couples are connected to the governor or the speaker. So you need to reflect the picture should be there to indicate, to show that actually these persons were there. That is what will make those watching on screen or reading, if it is online or newspaper, to believe that actually they were there. Maybe at the point they were greeting the couple or talking to them, or where the couple were at the point where the couple was talking to them, greeting them, or at the point where they were seated or coming into the arena or going out. So there must be a picture capturing them to show that they actually attended the event. So don't go to any event, take pictures, and leave prominent people who are there out of the story. I mean, out of your picture uh, collection or selection, or out of your pictures. No, because if the story captures them and they are not in any of the pictures, then it will be as if you are misinforming the audience. You are telling them what didn't happen. So you need to back that up with their pictures. So that anybody that sees that will say, actually the president was there, the governor was there, the speaker was there, uh, this member of House of Representative or Assembly was there. So because it will also make the such personalities to be respected, because there are certain events that when personalities like this attend, people will applaud them for actually showing love, showing concern, going there to identify with such people. So when you take them out of that, people begin to wonder if you're just writing to appreciate them because you like them, or they are your role models. So you just want to, or you just want to promote the person, the groom or the bride, or you want to promote the celebrant or celebrants in an event. So you need to just add things to the story that will make it look very heavy. So pictures, pictures are very essential in photojournalism. They tell stories. But there are in some cases where no matter what you write, if you like write or talk whatever you want to say, people will be satisfied with what they see in the picture, not the interpretation you are trying to give. So if the picture is not taken in such a way that will give the exact interpretation of the event, then it means the people will be misinformed by the nature of the picture. And that is what they will believe. What I was trying to tell them, yes, the person was sad at the event, not because the person wasn't happy. The person was sad because at the event, a news came in that the family had an accident, or this happened, or armed robbers did this, or a kind of misfortune occurred while the person was there. That was what changed the person's mood. Nobody will want to hear that. Nobody will want to hear that. They will tell you to leave that story for another day. They will tell you that is not it. So by the time the story, the real thing that happened that led to that is being published or written or broadcast, maybe the person's name might have been dragged, and then the person's reputation might have been in jeopardy, and so due to your ineptitude. So you don't need to give room for such to happen. You just have to be careful, have to be sensitive, watch, know when to take shots, and when even when you take shots that are not appropriate, you delete them during the process of selection, during the process of selecting the ones that you will need to be used for your story. So you have to be extremely careful in doing this. Just like I have said before, we have come to the end of this session. Just like I have said before, whenever any session ends, you should try to practicalize what is being taught so that you will get used to this. You can't sit, fold your hands, and wait until the whole training is completed before you will start putting what you have learned into practice. It is now, it's just like being in an institution where each lecturer finishes and gives assessment. So you need to be taking that before the final exam is being written. Before the final exam is being written, students are subjected to practicals where practicals are to be done. If it is a science course, you know about chemistry, practical physics, practical biology, where students go into the lab, do titration, get their conical flat, test tube, get their litmus paper and the chemicals needed to test the acid and base, alkaline, and all that. So once that is done, you get the practical recorded, and then you have to do tests, assignments before the exams. So three-piece media training is synonymous to that. After each session, you're supposed to put what is being learned, what is being studied to practice. You're supposed to, and then see how you have done that, even without being told to do that. You need to be practicing because normally when you go to school, you read, you learn before you can graduate and have your certificate. You can't go to school without learning and you expect to get your certificate. No, there's no magic that can be done. You need to study based on how you put in your intellectual and physical abilities. So you need to actually improve on yourselves. You need to be practicing what is being taught you. Try to go out and cover an event, get some photos, and see how you can do that. And then you can send to three-piece media, like I've been saying, even if it's not something you should necessarily submit. You need to send to three-piece media so that the management will know that what is being done here, you are actually following up, and where there are certain errors, you can be corrected and be told on what to do where there are certain errors. So please, like I said, keep on doing that. Even the ones that I have already done in the past, you can still start doing something about that. Talk about rural development, television and rural reporting, agricultural reporting, educational reporting, and a lot more. You can still be doing that and be sending for assessment so that where you have challenges, such place or places or areas can be attended to, and that will help in putting you to a level of professionalism. So please, there's a saying that practice make perfect. That is true. Whatever you keep on practicing doing every time, you become used to that. It's no more stressful. It's no more strange. You get used to, even if it's stressful, you won't feel the stress that much based on what you have been doing over the years and you get used to. So once you start practicing what is being taught, you get used to it. You won't find anything that difficult. Whatever you get will just be an addition to what you have already known so that you can uh, find your way easily into doing more, can find your way easily into improving and being more creative and innovative so that you will be able to take the umbrella of professionalism to anywhere you go to, not just within the horizon of three-piece media, but anywhere you find yourself. You'll be able to be proud of who you are. You'll be able to make significant impact. You'll be able to handle issues that and you'll be proud of yourself and you'll be proud of Trippies Media for making it possible. Please ensure that you try something. Keep trying, and ensure that it's being forwarded to Trippies Media Limited for assessment, and you'll be giving feedback on areas of improvement. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend.